Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Monday. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic Monday, the start of the week. For me, the weekend was kind of it was crazy. It was all over the place. I feel like I really didn't get any rest this past weekend. But we want to talk about what I'm going to talk about is hashtag recast T'Challa. So I brought this up a little bit on our podcast the other night, and I kind of want to talk about it and kind of go into my thoughts and opinions on it. I do feel like it is time to recast T'Challa. I know my boy Fatal, he's down here somewhere. This dude he's been preaching, recast T'Challa for basically years at this point, and I just want to give my thoughts and opinions on the whole T'Challa recasting thing because I feel like it is time, but I also feel like we have to be smart on how we do this, and I think Marvel is smart on how they are going to approach this, and I think a lot of people right now they want to see like a Storm T'Challa, marriage that happened in the comic books. This is who I want to play T'Challa. As you can see, a lot of people are really wanting Aldous Hodge to play him. He was Hawkman in the Black Panther or the Black Adam movie, not the Black Panther movie. Black Adam. He was the best part of that Black Adam movie. Like him as Hawkman and Dr. Fate, they were the best part of the Black Adam movie. So if you ever want to see that movie, just know that they are the best part of that movie. At least for me. I'm only speaking for myself here. But I do think it's time that we recast T'Challa. I would love to see Aldous Hodge play T'Challa. I think he has that presence, that look, that charisma, that like sense of, hey, look at me. He like demands presence when he's like on the screen. That's at least how I felt when I watched Black Adam. I have not seen him in the Cross TV series, which is based off of the Alex Cross novels. I have not seen him in that, but hey, from what I saw in Black Adam, the dude's on point in my opinion. So I would really like to see him play Black Panther. So let's talk about what it means to recast T'Challa. Now, I believe this, I stand by this, and I will always stand by the statement that I felt like what Ryan Coogler and Kevin Feige did with Wakanda Forever was the right move. There are people that disagree with that, and everybody has a right to their opinion and to agree and disagree with whatever opinions that they take. If you're someone like my boy Gaskar who feels like, hey, no, we should have recast, or someone like Fatal J who feels like they should have recast, you're entitled to your opinion. No one's going to say you're right or wrong. It's your opinion. You have the right to that opinion. I feel like the reason why it was so important to go the route that they went was for a couple different reasons. One, I feel like Ryan Coogler and Kevin Feige was between a rock and a hard place. It was a lose-lose situation when it came to Wakanda Forever, because if they would have recasted T'Challa, you would have had a group of fans and outlets that said, this is disrespectful to Chadwick Boseman. Like, this is absolutely disrespectful. Like, they just don't care about him. Like, he didn't mean nothing. They're automatically recast, and he was just a number, a pawn. They don't care. It's all about money. And then what we see on the other half, where they didn't recast him, instead, they just went the route that they did with Shuri. And again, you have a group of fans that are saying, oh, this is disrespectful. You should have recast him. This was disrespect. So regardless of what they did, Kevin Feige and Ryan Coogler was in a tough spot. If you recast him, you would have had an outcry of people. When you didn't recast him, you had an outcry of people. Now, hindsight is 2020. They did not recast. They decided to go a different route, and me personally, I like that route. Which comes to my second point of why I liked what they did, was because it gave us the viewers a chance to say goodbye to Chadwick Boseman. Where if you would have recast him, we would have never had that chance to say goodbye to him, because Black Panther was a big success here in the United States in the box office. It made like what, 1.5 billion. It made a lot. It made over $1 billion. And Chadwick Boseman was an actor who played a character that a lot of people loved. And when he died tragically, it left a hole in a lot of people's hearts where it just happened so suddenly. We didn't know. There was like speculation that he was losing weight for a role. Come to find out, he was fighting cancer this entire time, and it was very, very unexpected. But we, as the audience, never got that closure, never got to say goodbye to him. So the route that Ryan Coogler and Kevin Feige did, where hey, we're gonna keep this kind of realistic. We're gonna say he died of some kind of illness. Shuri wasn't able to cure him, no matter the technology that she had. She failed her brother, and we as the audience gets to say goodbye to Chadwick Boseman, the actor, as well as T'Challa. Like I mean, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. I think it's a more powerful story, and again, that's just my opinion on it. You don't have to agree. That's just my take on it and the way I feel about the way they went. And I thought it was a much more powerful story for Chadwick Boseman, the audience, and then finding this character Shuri, who failed her brother, feels that she failed her brother, failed her kingdom, loses her brother, loses her mother, and yet has to find a way to carry on the legacy of the Black Panther and fight Namor and save her kingdom. Like, it's a much powerful story. Now, with all that out of the way, I do feel like now it's time to recast T'Challa. You told the story. You had an end credit scene where T'Challa had a child, and his child is also named T'Challa. So you're planting the seeds for this child to grow up, and he's gonna take the name T'Challa and all that. Now it's time to recast. It's time to make that child grow up. Whether that is with the Secret Wars or Doomsday, the multiverse, something happens. We have a incursion. The worlds collide. The worlds merge. Whatever it is, and then you can pull T'Challa from another universe, and he could just look different, or you have his son take over the mantle and you age him up a bit by, again, merging the worlds, doing some kind of time jump, something. But now is the time to do that. Now is the time for us to get the new T'Challa, because we desperately need T'Challa in this universe. One of the biggest things happened in Phase 4 is we lost Tony Stark, we lost Cap. We lost two of the biggest heroes, and I felt like T'Challa and Captain Marvel were supposed to hand over that torch. Captain Tony hand over the torch to T'Challa and Captain Marvel, and they didn't really do that. And with T'Challa not being in the movies, there's a real emptiness there. I think now is the time to recast T'Challa. You can do it any way you want, whether multiverse, agent, whatever. But now is the time to do so, and I think it's best for the property, for the movies, and for the fans. So that's just sort of my take on it. I really think it's a good idea to go ahead, whether it be Aldous Hodge or not. That's who I want to see play T'Challa. I think he just has that presence. And whoever they cast as Storm, if they want to go the route of Storm being his wife, like in the comic books, I am completely down for that. But I think now is the time to recast T'Challa. And I think enough time has passed. Let's just go ahead and do this. A lot of people want to throw other... I remember on our podcast the other night, people were like, well, how many years was it between the Batman's recast and the Superman recast? And there's major differences between all that. The character didn't die in the middle of the actor didn't die in the middle of the production. Like the second movie was getting ready to come out. It was a massive success. Say what you want about the Batman movies. They didn't make $1 billion. Superman's didn't make $1 billion. And not only that, the actor tragically died while the script was being written for the second movie. It was like a whole thing, and I stand by Wakanda Forever and how they did it. The movie's not perfect. I think a lot of stuff with Riri Williams was kind of out of place for no reason, but I think the heart and soul of that movie is basically having the audience just say goodbye and letting Shuri kind of find her way. Now it's time for a new T'Challa, though. And I think this is our guy. I do. I hope Kevin Feige is taking note. Like, I wanted him to play Jon Stewart in the Green Lanterns. They didn't go that route. They went with someone else. I think this is the guy who should be cast as T'Challa. He just has that presence, in my opinion. But that's really just my thoughts on the recasting. Should it happen? I think now is time. That's my answer. I think now is the time. Enough time has passed. But I want to know what you guys think. How do you feel about Recast T'Challa? Is now the time? Who would you like to see play the upcoming Recast T'Challa? Leave your comments in the comment box below. And until next time, as always, I am Robert Storms, and that's my opinion. Later.